Hi, I'm Miss Sarah from Potomac Community Library. Today for QuaranTEEN Cuisine, we're going to make cinnamon mug cake. And this is a great recipe to make if you feel like you want a cinnamon roll, but maybe you don't want to make a whole pan of them, or maybe you just couldn't get yeast at the store. You can just make one cinnamon roll. It's actually cinnamon cake in a mug. And so the first thing we're going to do is melt our butter. And you want to be really careful when you melt butter in the microwave, because otherwise it will explode. This has happened to me before. So I'm going to put my microwave on 30% power. I'll start with about 15 seconds and see if it's melted enough. Hopefully that will be long enough. So, no, it needs a little bit longer, but probably another 15 seconds is going to be enough. So we'll do another 15 seconds at 30%. And in the meantime, I already put the dry ingredients in my mug. It is a gallon mug. And so in here I have a quarter cup of flour, just regular all-purpose, a tablespoon of brown sugar, a quarter teaspoon of baking powder, an eighth of a teaspoon of salt, and an eighth of a teaspoon of cinnamon. And let's check on our butter here. Okay, so it's not melted all the way, but if I kind of stir it with the fork, that might be enough to melt it the rest of the way. Okay, that'll work. It's going to go back in the microwave anyway. So then I am going to add half of the butter. I'll mix up my dry ingredients here first. So then I'm going to add half of the butter to the dry ingredients. And the other half is going to be for something else we'll do in just a minute. And then I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of milk. Now I'm going to stir this up until it's mixed. You don't want to stir too much or your cake will be really tough, just until all the ingredients are mixed in there. So it'll look kind of like this. And now, with the rest of the butter, I am going to make a cinnamon swirl for the cake. So in here I have a teaspoon of brown sugar and a half teaspoon of cinnamon. So I'm going to pour the rest of the butter in there. And then stir that together. And then that's going to go on top of the cake batter. So I'll just scrape it out as well as I can here with my fork. Okay. And then I'm going to use a toothpick to swirl it a little bit into the batter. You could also use like the end of a knife if you don't have toothpicks. Okay, so it's not real pretty, but it's going to taste really good. Then we're going to put this in the microwave. And then we'll microwave it on full power this time. And I'm going to start with about 45 seconds. It will take a different amount of time depending on what kind of microwave you have. So it might take longer, but you don't want to start with too long. And you don't want it to be jiggly or look wet in the middle, but you also don't want it to be overcooked, or it could burn or just be really tough and not very soft. So it's about halfway done there. In the meantime, while we're waiting, I have a tablespoon of powdered sugar here, and you can use powdered sugar to make a little glaze, and you can mix it in the same bowl that you made the cinnamon swirl in. So it'll have like cinnamon flavor to it. So there's a tablespoon of powdered sugar and then a half teaspoon of milk. So let's check on our cake here. Okay, it looks done. So it'll be not really be like a cake consistency that like you would bake in the oven. It's going to be kind of more like a pancake or a muffin because it doesn't have eggs in it. So let's mix up our glaze here. So you can see we have this nice cinnamon glaze. And then you can just pour that on the cake. And now it's all ready to eat. I'm not going to eat mine yet because it's still going to be burning hot. You want to let it cool for like 5 minutes probably before you try to eat it. But I hope you enjoyed today's quarantine cuisine with our cinnamon mug cake. Thanks for joining me.